Thank you for stepping into the world of your girl, Chardai Jackson, the realtor. Now, we know that going through a real estate transaction can be costly. And because you already know that, you've planned for it. But if there is an opportunity for you to save in any area, I'm certain you'd be eager to know about it and implement it. So, on today, let me give you 4 ways to lower your FHA closing costs. 1. Seller concessions. The seller can pay up to 6% of the purchase price towards closing costs. This is a method that will require skillful negotiation and has an outcome depending greatly on the type of market we are in. Most recently, we were in a strong seller's market. If you had an opportunity to engage in that market or even heard about it, you may have experienced or heard that many buyers were going $10K, $15K, $20K plus over asking price with no contingencies. That type of market is a seller's market and will not be the ideal time to incorporate this method. So it would be ideal to save this strategy for when you are offering asking price and the market is a little bit cooler for the buyers, also known as a buyer's market. On to method number 2. Let's finance the closing costs. Closing costs can range from 3 to 6% of the mortgage loan amount. One of the good things about FHA guidelines, though, is that they do permit borrowers to borrow the closing costs or roll them over into the loan amount. Now, if you are in Texas, which I am in the state of Texas, rolling over your closing costs is only applicable if you are refinancing. You cannot apply this method to a purchase transaction. If you take advantage of this method, note that you will be paying interest on them that will cost more in the end unless you don't plan to keep the entire loan term. One other factor to consider is that the loan amount will not include all closing costs. What you will have to pay up front can vary based on the loan type. But for FHA streamlined refinance, the upfront mortgage fee can be rolled into the loan balance, but other closing costs must be paid up front. Closing costs like property tax and home ownership insurance will always be paid up front. As we move on to our 3rd method, I like to encourage you to like my channel, share my channel, subscribe to it, and make sure you are setting those alerts. Ding! So whenever I put out new videos, you are the first to see. Never miss a piece of information or property tour. That's coming from me. Bars! Okay. The 3rd method, lender paid closing costs, or known as lender credits. In some instances, borrowers can have their closing costs covered by the lender. This is also known as lender credits. In order to achieve this, an agreement with the mortgage lender to cover part or all of your closing costs must be established. Now, it would be nice if it was just that, but there's a catch. And the catch is, with this type of transaction, you will pay a higher interest rate. And what you would see is that this could cost you more in the long run than just paying the closing costs outright yourself. I hope you've been learning something because we are on to our 4th method, gifted funds. This option is just as it sounds. It's a gift. A family member is eligible to gift you funds that can not only cover the closing costs, but can also be contributed towards the down payment as well. And now, the only downside to this particular method is that there's not many of us out there who have family members who are in a position that can give us such a large sum of money. That's the only downside. But if there is a way for us to save money, let's go for it. We never know what door is going to open up for us if we never turn the knob. And as we can see in the state of Texas, there are multiple knobs that can be turned, and right on the other side awaits our opportunity. Like always, I'd like to thank you for stepping into the world of your girl, Chardai Jackson, the Realtor. Until next time, beautiful people.